Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today. We would like to describe our competition today for you and to explain you how to fill the application, to what calls this competition aimed, and so on. So may I ask my colleague to share the presentation? Thank you so much. So can you see the presentation?
Yes,
Okay, great. So the call for environmental and the publicity projects and initiatives for NGOs in Egypt organized by two organizations. The non-profit organization Energy of Development under the state corporation Rosatom and the Yevgeny Primakov Center for International Cooperation. And here with you today, me, Ekaterina, I'm the member of organizing committee of this competition, and my colleagues Ivan, Alona, and Ruslan, who also are members of the organizing committee of this competition. So feel free to ask us during this webinar about any questions, clarifying moments, and so on and so forth. So the competition aimed to support projects dedicated to ecology, help for vulnerable groups, improving the environmental situation, and the development of new tools in different areas and for different groups in Egypt. And this competition is guided by the principles of openness, transparency, and efficiency. We give special attention to support social and environmental initiatives, strengthening partnership with local nonprofit organizations and civil society leaders. The application period of this competition will last till February 15, and during the competition, you can ask for financial support for your project. And this financial support starts from 250,000 of rubles, and the maximum amount of requested amount is 500,000 of rubles. Please note that this competition open only for organizations, and your application should be submitted only in English. May I ask to switch the slide, please? Here, I would like to highlight our requirements for participants. First of all, as you can see, this competition open only for legal entities. Unfortunately, we are not accept applications from individuals. So the application from organization should be submitted through our website, and applicants must provide proof of legal registration and authorization of their representative. This is the mandatory requirement, so please pay special attention to the documents that listed at the website in this blog. Also, the organization should be registered at least for 2 years in Egypt. And the last but not least requirement that application should be submitted strictly under the deadline till the 15th of February in English. Which organizations may take part in this competition? The application is open for nonprofit organization, educational institution, some association of volunteers, youth organizations, school, universities, youth movements, student association, and so on and so forth. Could I please ask for switching the slide? Thank you so much. Let's move to the projects that we may support in this competition. So you can see that the fields are pretty different, but please note that you could combine different areas in your project. So your project may be dedicated to youth and education, to help for vulnerable groups. It may be dedicated to environmental support and improvement, of course, for volunteering and animal welfare. Also, you could include some sports and healthy activities, development of digital solution, and urban development. I know that these areas are pretty different, and we would like to give you some examples of such kind of the project. Next slide, please. So as you can see, here is the short description of the project title, and expected outcomes. This is only the example how you can describe your project in the application form, and which type of project may be included in each area of the project. So please note that the project title should describe the idea, the main idea, and the area of your project. And also the description should be easy to understand, because this is the first touch, the first text that will be showed for our competition commission. So please make sure that it's clear and easy to understand. And do not forget to highlight the expected outcomes. Please use the smart way of setting these calls and setting these outcomes. So they should be specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant. Please pay special attention for numbers in quantitative results, and do not put so high numbers in this section, because it will be requested to provide after the competition end. Have you gained these numbers or not, and why? So I hope that it's not mandatory to read out loud this description of projects. So let's move to the next slide. Here you can see some examples for digital solution project and animal welfare project. It should not be a large-scale project, because we understand that the period of project implementation will last from 3 months to 6 months, and sometimes it's impossible to gain really large results during this time. So we understand that sometimes quantitative and qualitative results may be not so high, but it should be oriented on your community and provide the community impact. It may be really tiny, but really valuable for your community. That's why I would like to ask my colleagues to take the floor and tell us a little bit more how to fill the application form, what indicators you should put inside, and how to describe your project correctly and clearly for us and for Competition Commission.
Good morning, dear colleagues. I would like to tell you how to submit application. Could you please switch this slide? So first of all, you need to go to our website, atomgrant.org, and there you need to click the button Apply. So the process of submission can be separated into 2 steps. The first step, you need to fulfill information about your organization, the project name, some brief points of the project, application area, author, contact detail, etc. This is the first step. And the second step, which is more important, is that you need to download three forms, three documents. So first of all, it is application form, project implementation schedule plan, and project estimate. You can download it via the website. So the next step, you should fulfill these three applications very carefully and pay special attention to these documents. So first form is application for template. There we have 4 sections, and so this form, you need to write the whole information about your project, about the organization, goals, budget, etc. It is very important to print all these applications after they have been fulfilled, and make a signature, make a scan, and attach via the website. The second form is project implementation schedule plan. There you should separate your project into some steps, some periods, and describe what you are planning to do. It should be printed, fulfilled, printed, make a signature, and attach to our website. The third document is project estimate template. It's a budget for this project. You should fulfill all points, condense what points you need to pay, and it should be downloaded, fulfilled, and you should make a signature. It is very important to have all signatures, and we need a scan of your forms. After it, you can submit your application. How to make it more strong? So first of all, in our website, we have application instructions. There are full information about how to submit it correctly, and I would recommend you to read it carefully, and only after it make your application. The next slide, you can see some tips how to do it more strong. So first of all, you need to define your project goals, demonstrate community impact, ensure a well-structured budget, follow the application guidelines that you can find on our website, and write it very clearly. What your goals, what is the budget, what are the main points, and pay special attention to the impact that your project can provide. I suppose that it was a brief instruction how to apply, but if you have any questions, I am pleased to answer them. I would like to give the floor to Ruslan Mamedov.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you very much, Ekaterina. Dear friends, I think that you hear me quite well. I also have a couple of words, but maybe my speech will be less informative and more like emotional. So that yes, we have a good team working on this issue of the grant competition that we have, of the energy of development, which is under the State Corporation of Rosatom, and the Evgeny Primakov Center for International Cooperation, which will be also leading this issue. I'm a research director of the Primakov Center for International Cooperation, and our center is a Russian platform for engaging civil society, businesses, and academic community. I am sure that this is something that also you are interested in your work of to bringing together civil society and academic community to understand how to make life better for Egyptians. I myself lived and worked in Egypt for the last 2 years, and for me, as for you, Egypt is the Masar Ummah Dunya, definitely, and I believe that we can have many things together. I mean, Egyptians and Russians, we have a long-term history of our relations between the nations, but also between the people. Because when I was living in Egypt, I was communicating with the people on the ground and each and in the everyday life. And I think that Egyptians are very brave people. I mean, whom that shuja, and in this sense, definitely, I worked for the project of El Daba, a nuclear power plant, but definitely it is more about political level and higher business level. I worked with the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy, and I have many friends in the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy of Egypt. In Cairo, I was going each and every in my everyday life to this ministry to discuss the issues that we had together, to make Russians understand Egyptians and Egyptians understand Russians, and what we can. And this work, when I was doing it on the everyday level, I understood that actually we have already a long-term relations with Egyptians. And it comes with the decades of a cooperation. And you remember these projects of also which influences the ecology and not only, I mean, all the other stuff. For example, the project of Assad al-Ali, Aswan Dam. Yes, it also was built together by the Russians and Egyptians. And in this sense, I mentioned big projects, but what we do together with you, and I hope that for the future we will do during this year some small projects, but they can make a difference because we focus on the people, and this is something else. So we should prepare projects for the best of the Egyptian people. This is our idea. And you have a number of opportunities. We can start with something small. You can receive money for something you already do, or this year you can start receiving money for some small project, which, if it goes well this year and will be successful, we can we could just allocate more money for the next year, because I mean it's also something that we could discuss and continue. If there is a good project you do, you receive funds for this year, and we suppose that it is a successful thing, that we should continue. We can continue with the more money next year. So this is something that what I like to do when I make friends in Egypt, to have a long-term history of relations. If you follow the Primakov, he himself is a Russian thinker. He was Minister of Foreign Affairs, but also he knew Arabic. And we had the minister who knew Arabic. He visited Cairo not once, and he also had good friends in Cairo. And when he was talking to the friends in Cairo, they were telling him, for example, he was, somehow in the very 70s, I think, that he was coming to Cairo to talk to Minister Ismail Fahmy. He was Egyptian foreign minister. And Fahmy said to him, once you have any plans in the Middle East, you should first come to Cairo, understand the matter that you are coming to some other capital, and then go to this capital. After you go from this capital back to Moscow, you should go to Moscow via Cairo to understand this situation that you've heard in another capital better, and then go to Moscow. So this is the thing that we should keep in mind. Cairo is a very important place. Egyptians are the most important part of the Arab world. And in this sense, definitely we do our project for Masriyin, but also for the best of our people. I mean, the Russians and the Egyptians who are becoming to know each other well, better, and I think to do good things together. On our projects, you've heard my colleagues telling you how to, make an application. Ivan made very good statements, but they are not complicated. I mean, you could, follow this and you could think that it is complicated, but it's not actually. It is 10 minutes work. If you already have your idea, you should just put it on the paper and send it, and we should, look at it and then work during this year together. So on each and every phase, we are together with you. We are interested in you getting funds for your projects. So please, if you have any questions to me or my colleagues, we would be glad to answering them. And I definitely urge you to do your projects because you have ideas. We have a close, cultural. We are culturally close to each other, and definitely we are interested in helping to implement your ideas. So I think I will stop here, and if there are any questions, please, I give the floor. I open the discussion for us. I think that we are in a condition to discuss these issues more. Thanks.
Dear guests, please feel free to ask any questions. The floor is yours.
Yes, Abdelkader, please.
So as I can see, there are no questions here, but please, you can reach us anytime via email. The email is indicated at our website. So do not hesitate to text your question or any inquiries to our official email. And we will share the presentation with all the participants and to those who unfortunately did not show up. And please feel free to reach us, to text us, and feel free to fill the application form and take part in this competition. Thank you very much for your attention today. It was lovely to spend this time with you.
Ekатерina, there is a question in the chat.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. So any organization, non-profit organization that registered in Egypt at the territory of Arab Republic of Egypt, at least for 2 years, allowed to take part in the competition.
Yes, you can be a Muslim-based or Christian-based organization. We have in Russia 20 million Muslims living, and we know what is it. And so if you have organization which is officially registered in Egypt, be it faith-based or not, definitely you can apply for this grant competition. So it on the co-financing, it means that you can already have some project which you already do, and you can get our funds allocated for your project to continue this project. But also you can start a new project, and you can have already your funds for these projects, your ideas, and definitely we are interested in co-financing for co-financing the projects. On the last question, I think Ekaterina could comment how many prizes are there in the competition.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this year we aimed to choose up to 10 winners, but the prize fund will be the prize fund is connected to the costs of the project that you will indicate in your application form. So please make sure that in your application form, in the project budget, you include all the costs that you need.
And also, Tarek, thank you very much for this question. I think that if you have a good idea, you have a good chances to get the funds for your project, and so definitely just make an applications, and we will think of it. And also, if there is an idea that we think that definitely should get an application, we have a committee in the end. Which is going to decide where and how we allocate the money. Definitely, we will not, avoid allocating the money for the good ideas, good projects. So please, make an application. I urge you to do so. You have good chances to win. So yes, but one important thing to note is that the most important thing, yes, is that you need to have an organization which is registered officially in Egypt for 2 years. There could be some exceptions, but maybe if you, for example, do not have your own organization, but you have a project or idea, you can get some other organization which is already registered. You can talk to them and get their organization, and you can bring to them your project, which could be then via this organization be applied for our project. This is also doable, but do not hesitate to do it. But keep that in mind. You need definitely an organization which is registered officially in Egypt. For the last question, maybe Ivan could comment.
The deadline for the application is the 5th of February. 15th of February.
So there are around 12 days left for make an application on our website. It is very easy, so you can do it.
I would like to comment on the last question in the chat. Does co-financing mean that there has to be contribution from the NGO? No, you can attract funds or resources from partner organizations. For example, it could be local business or medium-sized business or some social entrepreneurs or individual entrepreneurs. You just need to indicate how much funds they donated to your project. Also, it could be co-financing from other NGOs, from big associations, for example. Maybe you receive also funds from volunteer association or governmental support. It's also allowed. Yeah, I can see that also one of our guests asked for our email. I will drop it in the chat. Just 1 second. So more questions arrived. May the organization take part if it doesn't have any legal address. So your legal address should be indicated in the certificate of registration, because if I'm not mistaken, when you register your organization according to the local laws, it should be with the legal address, but maybe Ruslan will add something on this question.
The issue is that if you are already a registered organization in Egypt, I think you definitely have an address. So just check once again whether you have your organization definitely registered. So I understand that your organization is in the Russian house. Now it's better. I understand this issue. I think that you should contact me directly or Ivan. Ivan, can you please just leave your we will make it in another way. You just send your this question particularly to our email with your WhatsApp number, and then we will contact you and discuss this issue with you. But the key issue is that your organization is not a registered Egyptian organization. It is organization of the Russian house in Cairo. We allocate funds only for the registered Egyptian organizations. So for that, if you have a project, you better contact some of your friends. I know that you have many friends in Egypt, which have some organizations, Egyptian organizations, or associations registered in Egypt. Discuss with them that you want to get funds from us and you have such kind of a project, etc. You use this organization to get the funds and make a project. I think that it should not be a problem. Just talk to some of your leaders and some of the people in the Russian house. I think that they could advise you how to do better in this sense, but also send us a separate email to us with this particular question, and we will contact you directly, and we will help you organize this issue and settle this issue.
Okay, let's move to the next question in the chat. When will we be notified about moving to the next stage? So the competition holds in 2 stages. So after the submitting of application, your application will be checked by Competition Commission, and those projects who go along with all the criteria will be invited for online presentations of your ideas of the project. That will be happen in March. So after the online presentation, the Competition Commission will decide who will be the winner of this season of the competition, and winners will be announced in April this year. So after that, with the winners, the special agreement will be signed, and in May they may start to implement their projects. So I would like to take the next question from the chat. If the proposal is in partnership with another NGO, will that double the amount of fund? I really like this question, the good way to double the fund for your project. In this case, we recommend to fill 2 applications from both NGOs. This is a really great idea how to gain more money for your project implementation. So for all other participants, use this idea. But please note that in this case, both NGOs participating in this project and asking for funding should fill all the forms and provide all the required documents, as well as registration certificate and so on and so forth. So any more questions, maybe some clarifying moments, anything? Okay, if there are no questions more, we dropped our email in the chat. And of course, we'll share the presentation after this webinar. Please feel free to reach us to ask some questions, and also you can drop us a text about some fields in the application and so on and so forth. We always open for communication, for your questions, for your inquiries. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, dear colleagues, Ruslan, Ivan, and Alona, for this webinar. Let's stay in touch and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you very much. We had a good discussion today, and I would like to, thank our friends from Egypt who joined our webinar. أنا مسرور جدا إننا ناقشنا كل ما حدثنا اليوم. ألف شكر لكم، وإن شاء الله سنتعاون، والتعاون سيكون بأعلى الصداقة. يعني ألف شكر لكم أصدقائنا العزيزين من مصر. So thank you very much, my friends from Egypt, and definitely I hope that we will meet together soon, and we will have more joint projects during this year, and maybe it's a good first start for the future friendship. I think we could, if Ivan, please, you have some comments or not. If not, then we could end the discussion.
Dear friends, thank you so much for participation. Shukran lakum jazilan, and we are pleased to answer all your questions. That's what I wanted to say.
So thank you very much.